If you want to learn some skills to help regulate your specific horse and not just like general terms for all general horses out there, this video is going to be for you. We're going to be diving into the four main personality types that I've identified in horses, as well as how to help them to regulate in real world circumstances based on their personality type. And we're going to do it all in just like 5 minutes. If you're new here, I'm Ruby. I'm a whole horse stewardship trainer, and I help horses and humans just like you to have a deeper bond and better relationship. I've been doing this for over 10 years, and over those 10 years, I have found four main personality types that I see in both horses and humans. And if you're curious what your type is or your horse's type is, you can take the quiz that's linked in the description below. It's totally free, and it'll help you to kind of identify what personality types we're dealing with so that we have somewhere to start from as we're kind of going through this conversation. So the next thing we need to identify, we need to understand that the fact that regulate doesn't just mean calm. You can be regulated and be excited. You can be regulated and be alert. You can be regulated and be, I don't know, whatever, anxious, nervous, whatever. The big thing about regulation is that it means that we're not kind of fighting against our nervous system. So sometimes we want to regulate a horse up. So if we have a really lazy, quiet horse and we're trying to make them more athletic, we might want to upregulate them. If we have a horse that's a little bit too much and we want to bring them down, we might want to downregulate them. And same with us. There might be moments like when a student first comes in the arena, one of the first questions I ask myself is, does this person have too much energy right now and I need to bring it back into a place of calm focus? Or are they a little sleepy, a little tired, and I need to like make them more alert and awake and ready to ride? And so I'm thinking about, do I need to up or down regulate this person? So same thing with our horses. So with that in mind, of the four main types, there are two that generally need more down regulating and two that generally need more up regulating. So feelers are the horses that are very sensitive, and they often tend to like be very quiet. And so they often lack confidence. They tend to need a lot of support. They can be really anxious, flighty, reactive by nature. These horses tend to need a lot of down regulating, a lot of grounding to help them to stay calm and focused and be able to think clearly under pressure. Achievers are horses that are also very sensitive, but they're also very confident. And so these are the horses that like want to go do stuff. They tend to be athletes. They're very ambitious. And so these horses sometimes need to down regulate, not because they're nervous and flighty, but actually just because they're like getting carried away. These are the horses that you go over one jump and then all of a sudden they're like running away with you and they need to come back to you. Then we have cruisers. Cruisers are horses that lack sensitivity. They tend to sometimes be cast as like dull, but they also are really steady and quiet. And so these are the horses that are very dependable. These are often kind of like husband horses, bomb-proof horses, but they tend to sometimes need a little bit of upregulating if you're trying to actually get anything done. These are the horses that you see like little kids on and they're like pony kicking and pony kicking and pony kicking. And the horse is like, I guess I'll take a step. And that's all you get. So these horses sometimes need to be regulated up. The other thing is a lot of times these horses can be kind of like stubborn and lifeless and kind of like a stick in the mud. And so by upregulating them, we can sometimes make them a little bit more ambitious, a little bit more lively, and actually interested in like engaging and having a conversation and going and doing things with us. And then the final type that we're going to talk about is what I'm calling voyagers. Voyagers are the horses that are sort of like the golden egg. These are the horses that everybody wants. These are the ones that are, they're they're not overly sensitive, but they're also really confident. And so these are the horses that like you kind of point them at anything and they can just go. And these horses tend to need just like a little more fine tuning. Sometimes these ones can get kind of bulldozery or pushy because they're like, I know where I'm going and I don't need you to get me there. Like I kind of just want to like go do it myself. And so they can kind of like leave you out of the conversation. And so sometimes these horses can need a little either up or down regulating just to be like, hey, I'm part of this. And you don't just get to go without me. We have to actually do this together. So from there, if you can kind of assess what type your horse is and maybe what type you are, then we can talk about how to regulate. So the biggest, most important thing is that you're not going to be able to regulate your horse if you yourself are not regulated. And the biggest lie about regulating that I'm seeing circulating right now all over the internet and social media and everywhere is that when you are calm, you are regulated. And that is just simply not true. The biggest thing our horses need from you is not for you to be calm, but is for you to be honest and for you to be authentic. And so if your outsides are not matching your insides, your horse is going to see right through that. So you can't pretend to be calm on the outside if your heart is racing and your stomach is not. But if you are actually calm on the inside and calm on the outside, that works great. The other thing you can do is just be honest. So one thing that I like to have my clients do is actually just tell their horse like, hey, I'm feeling really nervous right now and I need you to support me. And that alone, just saying it, just giving it a name, seems to really help people regulate. And then from there, we're going to add some deep breaths. So we're going to be breathing out longer than we're breathing in. And that's going to trick your brain into pulling you out of fight or flight and into a thinking part of your brain. And that's when you're regulated. It's not necessarily that you're actually calm, but it's just that your brain is actually able to like think and process and make good decisions. And it's not just running away with you in this fight or flight place. So once we have a couple good deep breaths, breathing out longer than we're breathing in, we've told our horse how we're feeling. Now we might be starting to feel regulated. And I have lots of other tips on how to regulate, and I'm going to link them in the description below. But I promise this video is going to be short, so I'm going to skip through this piece. Once you are now regulated, now you can ask your horse to connect and regulate with you. This is called co-regulation, but the key is that you first have to be the one that's the rock that your horse can co-regulate to. So if your horse is too up and you need to regulate them down, we're going to do different things based on your horse's personality. So if you have a feeler and you need to bring your horse back to a place of calm focus, you're going to use an approach of just keeping things really simple, really slow, slowing it down, lots of deep breathing. You might do lots of long rein walking and just giving your horse some time to slow down and regulate. If you have an achiever, you're going to ask a lot of questions and get your horse's mind thinking. And this activity is going to get your horse back in the conversation with you and actually connect to you, as opposed to kind of having this like, okay, we did that one jump and now I'm taking off. You might like do the one jump and then now we're going to do transitions and now we're going to go over this pull and now we're going to make this turn that you weren't expecting, and kind of make them like, oh, maybe I actually don't know the plan and I should actually just pay attention and stay with my person. And then we're going to talk about the horses that need to be upregulated. So these are our voyagers and our cruisers. These horses might need like rapid fire transitions, but in a little bit more of a like, hey, we got stuff to do, something important is happening, and you're going to miss it if you don't get here. So where the achiever might need you to like, oh, and now we're going this way. Oh, and now we're going that way. Oh, and now we have to do this thing. And that's going to get them back in the conversation. Um, the voyagers and cruisers need you to be a little bit like, hey, if you don't check in, you're going to miss it. You're going to miss out. We got to hurry up. We got to get into this like fast paced, something's happening. And it doesn't have to be intense. You're not getting them in trouble, but you're just like maybe going like, we trot, we walk, we trot, we walk, we trot, we walk. And that's going to kind of get them like, ooh, I'm engaged and something fun's going to happen. And now I'm getting excited. And then once you get them there, then you can go ahead and do the rest of your work. So 4 different approaches for 4 different horses, completely different based on your horse's personality. I have tons more resources linked below, so please check those out. If that was helpful, I would really appreciate a comment and a like and a share, because that is what is going to help this video to help more people and to get this information out there, because I think that this idea of how we communicate with our horses is really becoming more and more prevalent in the world. But I think that there's just not enough information out there about all of this, which is why I'm making these videos. And I hope that you'll help me out by sharing them so that I can reach more people and help more people and more horses to have better relationships and to really enjoy each other. So, and with that, I will see you in the next video. Make sure to hug your horse for me.